And in this game, players are going to be playing as different farmers, each with their own special ability and starting resources. And players are each going to have their own farm board that they're going to be building out and growing different crops in throughout the game in order to score victory points, which you can either save for the end of the game, or you can also spend to perform additional actions. And in order to perform any of these actions, you will be using worker placement. But before I get to that, there is a special mechanism in this game that I need to explain. At the start of each round, there's going to be a few cards put out on the table, and these are going to grant certain actions or resources to anyone that claims them, but they also have a number on them that indicates your player order. Players do draft these cards before the round starts, but before I get into that, it's important to know that players will also be starting the game with a hand of these cards. And players are going to be simultaneously choosing one of the cards from their hand and then simultaneously revealing it to determine in which order players will get to draft these cards. You only gain the bonuses from the card that you draft from the table, but whichever card you choose, you're going to be replacing it with the one that you took from your hand. This means that you're not only going to have to consider how badly you want first dibs on the draft, but you're also going to have to consider which card you're adding to that pool, because that's going to be accessible to the player after you. So if you really want to be first to perform your actions, that means that you really want to claim the 7. But if you put in a 3 or something lower than the 7 in order to take that 7, that means that you could actually give the opportunity to the other players to go before you. And after all the players have drafted a card, you're then going to be moving into the action phase, and each player is going to be performing their actions by putting workers out on the main board. And of course, you're going to be doing this in the order determined by the values on the cards that you drafted. The different actions can allow you to do things like gain more resources, expand your farm, build buildings for permanent or instant bonuses, as well as pay resources in order to plant new crops or grow more of the crops that you already have. And of course, you can also use an action to harvest, which is going to earn you stars, which are victory points for the end of the game, or instead you could spend those in order to perform additional actions. The game continues like this over a series of 5 rounds, and the player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins the game. And if you are interested in this one, you can check it out in the description below, and of course, click to get notified.